Happy New Year! Happy New Year, Genesis Church. We're so excited you're here with us.
Yeah.
My name's Andrew. This is my wife, Megan, and this is my silly string. And we're so excited that you're here with us today.
Yeah, we
Like,
are.
how cool that we're in our homes. We're staying warm. We're celebrating together as a family. And technology is allowing us to gather together
Cozy.
to start the new year.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is today we're going to celebrate all the amazing things that God has done in 2022. We're going to look forward to 2023 together. We're going to see what God has done through our ministries and the lives of people at our church. And we're just happy we get to do it with you. And if you're new with us, if this is your first time, please text Genesis Church to the number 97,000, and you can fill out a digital connect card there, because that's how we get to connect. That's how we get to know you. That's how we get to be in your world. So please go do that.
Yeah, we're so glad that you are here. And you never know, you might be the first person to fill out a Connect card in 2023.
That's pretty cool.
Might be a prize. There might not be a prize, but we're glad you're here. And I'll tell you what we will do is if you fill out one of those Connect cards, we have this partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank where we'll feed a family of 5 on your behalf. And so
It's pretty great.
this last year in 2022, do you want to know how many people we fed? The grand total?
I do.
I'm so glad. So glad. Let me tell you, the number of people that we fed in 2022 is 1,780.
Wow, how
1,780
amazing. Let's
people were
celebrate
fed
that.
because you filled out Connect cards, and we're so thankful
So
for
good.
that partnership. But what I love is Connect cards are more than just a piece of paper. Those represent lives.
That's right.
Those are families, those are people, those are testimonies. And this morning, we get to hear some of them. So
I love it.
help me out by welcoming some of our favorites,
Some of our faves.
the Fosters.
I grew up in a Christian house. Both my parents were believers since they were little. Went to church every Sunday, and I gave my life to the Lord when I was 5 at halftime of the Super Bowl. I don't know who was playing that year, but I didn't really know what that meant. And it wasn't till I went to some Christian camps where I learned a lot more about who Jesus is. But I really don't think I truly gave my life to Jesus until I went out to college. I was more surrounded by people that thought the same things as me, but also being in a place where I needed to act out my faith on my own, away from my parents and my home church and everything. And that's when I really came into my faith and really knew what I believed then. So.
I actually did not grow up in a home where, Jesus was like in the center of it all. My mom believed, but we were immigrants. We were just trying to make it by. And so there was like no time for church on Sundays. So like I knew of God, but really like that was it. You just like pray when like things go kind of bad, and then that's it. And then my brother got into a car accident in 2011, and we were in the ICU, and they were like, hey, do you guys want a chaplain? And so my parents were like, yeah. So then we got a chaplain, and then like I knew a little bit more about God, but like still not really there, just like knew that he existed. And then I started dating Luke, and he was like, hey, like, have you heard about God? I have, but I like don't go to church really. I want to, but like my parents don't go. And he was like, do you want to come to church with my family? And I was like, yeah, that'd be awesome. And then he went off to college, and then for like my whole senior year of high school, I got to go to church with his family and just like get to know more about God. But really for me, it was like also when I got off to college and I was able to kind of find God for myself and do like college ministry and stuff like that, that I really came to know him. It's like our first time here. Everyone was so welcoming and genuine. And you could really tell that like God's presence was in this church. So we're just lucky to be here.
We didn't know anyone coming here, so being like plugged into like a family immediately was amazing. Really, I think what stuck us here too was the Bible teaching here. Pastor Josh is so fired up about Scripture, and it really, after feeling like this was the place, that kind of cemented it. And knowing that we would get stronger in the Word and really be guided by the Holy Spirit here.
I'm on G Kids, and I love it. It's a little bit different than I expected. I thought I was like just going to be kind of taking care of the kids, teaching them a little something, and that would be it. But really, they're teaching me. And I know that that's like, oh, they're teaching you. But no, they really have like this childlike faith, and they're like grabbing onto the information that we're giving them at such a young age. And that kind of like inspires me to be more like them and have more childlike faith.
Yeah. And for me, getting to drum here has been, a real big blessing for me. Like when we serve, we want to be blessing other people. And I hope I'm able to do that, but I've also been really blessed. I wasn't really anticipating playing drums coming here, and was very encouraged, and I've gotten to strengthen that skill a ton, and it really elevates my own worship to God. So I've been really blessed by serving through that way. I think for me, being really plugged into a church through GLC and serving, and just something where I'm putting much more of my time towards, makes it a lot more intentional. Not that I'm just showing up on a Sunday, but I need to intentionally put time towards church and to serving God. And I think that's just strengthened my relationship with Him a ton.
And just having a lot of friends outside of church, we work from home, so church is our only kind of outlet to make some friends, which is great, because we're able to do life with them, not just on Sunday, but also like throughout the week. And just serving has really impacted my life outside, because I feel like before I wasn't intentionally, like Luke was saying, focusing on God every single day, and it's just so much easier to do that now. First time when we walked in through the doors, we were just really looking for community. Like I said, we were still like 2 weeks new to Spokane, so we didn't know anyone or anything, but just instantly everyone was so welcoming and kind, and they just like wanted you to be a part of what they were a part of. And then just getting like invited into like connect groups. If there's anything else I want to say to the church, is just thank you, because you really do look for like lost people, and like the love of God really is shown through like the people that are serving here. And just everyone's just been super genuine and kind. I love it.
For me, being able to really sit down and study the Word, I think is amazing, and really dig deeper into what we believe and why we believe it has been an awesome opportunity.
Yeah. And like what GLC has kind of meant to me is it's a community and a place where people really do want to like dig in deeper. And just having like Pastor Josh, he does his sermons on Sunday, but on Tuesdays getting into like the nitty gritty and just being with people that are following God and really want to like dig deeper into that relationship. It's been really awesome.
Man, we love the Fosters, and I'm so
them.
thankful for the ways that they have found community and family here at Genesis. Fosters, you're the best.
You're the best. We love you guys. And we've seen so many new things launched this year here at Genesis, or relaunch. We've relaunched our youth ministry, and in this year we've seen so much growth. We've been meeting on a weekly basis. We've had vibe nights, we've had service nights, we've had small group nights, we've had parties, and we have such an awesome group of young people at this church, not just coming to youth nights on Wednesdays, but they've been serving on Sundays, they've been jumping on teams, and they've been so sacrificial. So I love our young people, and also our team of volunteers who works with them has grown. We got some incredibly solid leaders, and it's been a really fun year, and I'm really excited to see how we finish out the rest of the school year with our youth.
Yeah, good things are cooking. One thing I'm really fond of that we were able to launch this last year is something called Babe Brunch.
Pretty great.
On average, so we had 3 Babe Brunches last year. On average, we saw 68 women gather, pack out the lobby as we had brunch together in this beautiful room with great food. But honestly, those weren't my favorite details about it. While I loved those details, my favorite details were seeing how the women just really wanted strength and courage and relationship. And they leaned into those moments of prayer and getting to know each other, as I saw the women of Genesis just find strength in being together. And so we're so excited to see Babe Brunch continued in the next year.
Yeah, and we've also been doing man nights. So we had 3 man nights, man's night this past year. We had a barbecue in the summer. We saw 38, 40 guys come out each time. We had food, we played cornhole, we did kickball, And most importantly, we got into each other's worlds and each other's lives. We got to sit and talk and share and get closer. And so we're really excited for what God is going to do in the coming year. Some really awesome stuff coming up for men to strengthen our relationships with each other, and to strengthen our relationships in our marriages and in our families, and to strengthen our relationships with how we lead at Genesis. So really cool stuff coming for men. We've had a really fun year, and I'm really excited for what's coming next.
One of my favorite things that we do here at Genesis that I think makes Genesis so unique is our Genesis Leadership Collective. We like to call it GLC.
GLC, baby.
It's a 16-week leadership intensive where students learn about theology, leadership, their relationship with God. They get the chance to do a 5-minute message in front of their fellow students.
So
they are in cohorts strengthening relationships, and they have a Bible reading plan that they're reading at home, so it carries on to just more than one night a week. And it's one of my favorite things.
It's so great. For us, when we first did GLC, it was something that really sewed us in, that made Genesis family. It helped us get closer to people in a way that we didn't get to do on Sunday or even in small groups, because we were digging together. And that's one of the ways we've gotten to know the Fosters. They've actually been in our cohort this year, and we've gotten to know them. And along with them, we've got 55 people who've taken that next step, which is so cool. We've got first, second, and third year learning different things, doing those 5-minute messages, and just really discovering who God made them to be and how they have been uniquely created and gifted to serve and to lead. And it's been so cool. And actually, one family that I've loved getting to know that's been part of GLC this year is the Chase family. So we get to hear from the Chases.
We first met, I was a server a few years back at a local restaurant/bar, and I was getting harassed by these 3 girls. I'm just kidding, not harassed.
Okay.
But she gave her phone number on a receipt slip, and I ended up asking her on a date.
It's true. I grew up in a Christian home, in a Christian environment. Going to church, doing all those things, I feel like it was very different when I was a kid. I think as an adult, growing my relationship with Jesus really happened when I started to have my own children and experience real life circumstances where I couldn't figure it out on my own, and then I was able to find that in a relationship with Jesus.
I think for me too, I started pretty young. My dad was very keen on going to church every Sunday and building our relationship with God. And I almost felt forced a little bit, but I know it was for the right reason. And as I became an adult, I kind of fell away from that. You know, you start working a lot, and you're on your own for the first time, and you kind of lose it a little bit. But when I moved out here from California, I think is when I reestablished that relationship.
I had a friend who always posted about being here and loving it and how different it was, so I drove by it all the time, so I thought, might as well check it out. And sure enough, I came in and felt warm and welcomed with really kind, good-hearted, Jesus-like people. And I don't normally feel comfortable in new places, but I felt comfortable here, so I knew it was the one for me.
Yeah, and Emily introduced me, and I loved it, so.
I think being a part of the community in this church and being able to serve has really just deepened that sense of community that is here, and it makes what I already felt like I was feeling as an experience here more real, and just brought more of a depth to it. It's pushed me and encouraged me and strengthened me in my own faith and walk, and just getting to really know the people that I was feeling all of the warmth and love from for all this time of coming here, and then getting to know some people and establish those relationships has been really cool.
I feel like it's almost a second home to us now. I think for all of us, we just all enjoy being here, and it's so inviting, and I think we all love it equally.
Yeah, it's a nice place to feel safe and welcomed, and to be able to trust our kids in the kids programs that they have here and know what's going on, and in part serving them, seeing behind the scenes, it really is as good as it seems like it is around here.
Yeah.
And it's been a great place to establish roots as a family. I think we've grown closer since growing towards the Lord, together in the church and individually on our own walks too. Just learning to love more like Jesus loves, and what it means, the way that Jesus really does love us, and being able to see where we're hitting the mark and where we're missing the mark with each other and with the family aspect.
For sure.
Sometimes, and have conversations on a different level, in a different way. I chose to do GLC because I was in a season where I felt like the Lord was calling me deeper, and I didn't really know how to do that on my own. I would try to read my Bible and understand all of the things, but I always really enjoyed and appreciated what the pastor said, and I was here for the graduation last year, and I think we saw someone speak that did GLC, and I was curious about it, but I didn't think it was the right time. And then this year, I still didn't feel like it was the right time necessarily. Life was busy, but I just felt a pull in my heart like I was supposed to be there, and I'm really, really glad that I decided to go with that. It's been already a really impactful, powerful experience in shaping and changing the way that I see Jesus in the Bible and the Christian community as a whole.
And how to approach situations also. Like, I think you're learning a lot with GLC, and you come home and you kind of share that. We're able to use that, to apply it to other situations in our life.
Yeah.
I think it's really impacted us.
Yeah, we feel very equipped here.
Oh yeah, totally.
It was really cool to see the kids be baptized.
Super
here.
exciting.
It was very, very exciting. At first, we kind of were thinking, okay, do you guys really even know what it means to be baptized? But they totally did. They knew exactly what it meant.
All their decision, too.
And-
Like, we didn't push it.
Yeah.
We just mentioned it was happening. They're like, oh, I want to do that. They really wanted to. And I remember, because Nick got baptized, and he's like, oh my gosh, this is like one of my biggest days of my life. And it really made me happy because he understood what it meant, and that felt good.
And the Lord really worked it out because our summer Connect group leader was able to baptize the kids, so it wasn't someone that they don't know or they're not familiar with, but it was someone who had become like a friend and mentor in our life and in our kids' lives, so that was just another really cool piece.
Definitely.
Gosh, I love that story
cool.
so much. How cool is it to see whole families change
It's so great.
through the body of Christ? That's why we do what we do. And you know what? One number that I think we will never get tired of celebrating is salvations. We say it every week. One of the reasons we exist is to reach the lost. And you want to know how many people we saw respond to accepting Jesus as Lord of their life this year?
How many?
55.
That's so great. Come on.
55. Like, that's amazing. That's why we do what we do.
It's so great. And not only that, 55 people giving their lives to Jesus this year. We've seen 23 people commit their life and to Jesus, going through the step of faith of water baptism, an outward reflection of that inward commitment they've made. We do baptisms 3 times a year, once per season, and we've seen kids from Up and G Kids, we've seen siblings, we've seen whole families come together, get baptized together, and we've celebrated. And if you've ever been here for a baptism, most of us leave the room hoarse and sore and tired. And so it's great. Baptism is one of my favorite things that we get to do. We get to celebrate around here. And we get to also see the story of Jules. Jules is someone we love here at Genesis. So let's take a look at what God is doing in Jules' life.
Yeah. So I grew up in the church. Like my whole life I've known about Jesus, but it probably wasn't until about 2 years ago that I really decided to make my faith my own. I'd known Jesus my whole life, but like seriously, 2 years. My friends had told me about Genesis, and so when I was going to college and I was really lonely, I would listen to the sermons as I was walking from class, and then when I was going to work. And even just through my headphones, I could just tell that there was something really special about Genesis. And then when I started coming, automatically Rayanne remembered who I was and said hi to me, and same with Megan Hansen. So just feeling at home. I went inconsistently, like hopping in and hopping out really quick between services for about a year. Very welcoming. They were still doing the signs out front, and that was really fun, with just like everybody being super kind and welcoming. And I think probably almost immediately Rayanne came up to me and Janice and said hi, and introduced herself. And then when we sat down, Megan Hansen, again, same thing during the 1 minute mixer, turning around, saying hi. And then when I came back, it was like I had never left. After COVID, they remembered my name. They hadn't seen me in like a year. For like probably 3 years, I hadn't really invested in going and being a part of a church and making it my home, and I really wanted that. And I knew that I was going to get more integrated and get to know people better if I served, and it was just something that was really on my heart. But yeah, Rayanne, I think probably the day that I came back, she was like, do you want to serve on team? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I need to. I know I need to. So when I graduated college, I was really lonely, and I was really struggling with anxiety and depression, and really struggled with feeling known. And so coming here and getting to know people and building those relationships while we're also building our faith in Jesus, that really meant a lot. I joined GLC, and that really plugged me in more than even when I was serving. I wanted to do GLC for the community aspect. I wanted to dive deeper into my faith with Jesus and get to know that whole realm better. So there's multiple layers to why I wanted to do GLC, but absolutely growth in my faith, building myself up as a leader, and getting to know more people within the church. Genesis has meant so much to me. It's like, I just get so excited to come here on Sundays. I love being here, but it's just a family to me. I love worshiping with everybody, and I think just the environment and the people, we all want to grow and be better and strive closer to the Lord. And I come in here and I'm encouraged and I'm challenged and I'm grown, and I don't know how to articulate it well, but it means so much to me, this church and the family and the values that we have and the goal that everybody shares here. And we've met so many great people, my husband and I, here. So building friendships. I think as Pastor Josh has guided his sermons and preaching the word and building that fire within me, it makes me want to be a better wife, and really work on following the Lord with my husband. I got baptized. It was just that next step in that obedience with the Lord. 2 years ago, I got in a car accident, and it really just shook my world, and made me really realize that there were a lot of things that I needed to deal with in my life that I wasn't. I was really just letting myself be a victim to the circumstances that happened in my life. So I started working through that and building my relationship with the Lord and really making that my first priority. And I felt like I needed to, because it's been such a drastic change. I was on the brink of tears with joy, like basically the whole day. And it was, I could just feel the Lord was there. And I loved it. And like my aunt I hadn't seen in probably a year was there, and my brother, who isn't a believer, came. And it was just really cool. It was a good day.
Well, we know 2022 gave us so many reasons to celebrate.
Yeah.
And Genesis, it is such an honor to get to build God's kingdom with you. And what I love is, while we've heard so many stories this morning, but also throughout the year of what God's done, we know that's just a piece.
Yes,
we know there's more
absolutely.
stories out there. If that's you, we want to ask you to email us at info@genesisspokane.com.
Do it.
Email us those stories. It encourages us. It strengthens our faith. We love seeing God at work in you.
Well, and what's so cool, hey, we're at home right now with our families, but we are kicking off this year with what we're calling Prayer Week.
Yeah.
And this is something new for us, and we're super excited. We're going to be together for the next 3 days
So cool.
here in the auditorium at the church, praying for the coming year, thanking God for what he's done, worshiping him, because there's nothing greater that we can do than to thank him and to worship him, thank him for what he will do. So over the next 2 nights, Monday and Tuesday night, we're going to be here from 6:30 to 7:30 in this room, praying over prayer requests that we're going to have up on the screen, worshiping God together.
Yeah.
There isn't going to be childcare that night, but what's cool about that is you get to have your kids in here. We've seen kids praying for grown-ups, laying on hands, and God moving. So bring your kids. We will have a family area out in the lobby if you need to escape out there for a snack with them. But bring your kids and come and celebrate, pray and worship with us. And then Wednesday night is our big kickoff prayer and worship night for 2023, 6:30 to 7:30. We will have childcare upstairs for that. And we're going to be in here just going at it, worshiping God, praying for one another, and thanking him for how good he is and how much he loves us. And we're wrapping up that night with one of my favorite things, donuts and decaf. Little donuts, little decaf out in the lobby. Churches who linger last, so we're going to hang around, hug each other's necks, just thank God for who he is and how much he loves us. It's going to be fun. So we'll see you over the next 3 nights here at Genesis. And we hope you guys have the most amazing New Year's Day all together. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.